What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we are back today with another episode of the Wonderfest build series. Oh, the Razor Crest. Now, I almost didn't shoot anything this week because I'm waiting for things to arrive, but in thinking about this model, we have to get some work done. And I have a very special announcement at the end of the video. Yeah, when you ask for things, you sometimes get them. And so I got a little special announcement at the end of this one. It's going to take this model and put it over the top, but it's more work. So we'll get to that at the very end. But in preparations for that, we need to go ahead and finish our paint job. And one that I was kind of like thinking about, before all of this, before the special announcement, I had a plan for the model and I had to like stop and think. There are a couple of different ways we could have approached this model. I could have just built it and done a really nice job of painting it, doing the weathering on it. But that's really just not going to work. It's a Wonderfest model, and I really want to put some special care and attention and detail into this model, so I decided we're going to light it, as I mentioned in the previous episode. But we're going to go a little further, and we're going to be doing a very detailed internal build. And so in order to do so, I need to build this model in such a way that when we have it sitting, it looks great, but then it's also designed so that we can take the top off and take a look inside. So we'll talk about that at the very end and why, but what we need to do in this episode specifically is get our gloss black down on the inside. So that's where we're going to be starting today, and then it's likely going to be just a really quick, easy episode. I am waiting for stuff. Let me go ahead and pull out. I actually meant to do this, and I'm surprised I didn't have it ready. But I also have the Aztec dummy for the Razor Crest. This one, however, is going to be done differently than all the other Aztec dummies that I have come across. I want to have an authentic screen build to Mandalorian and the Razor Crest, as what we saw. And in order to do that, we're going to need to do some really great, a great job of weathering on the outside of the Razor Crest itself. And this Aztec dummy is actually set up in such a way so that you can paint it and apply your chipping compound, or hairspray chipping as you like to call it. And the Aztec dummy is set up for that, and that's what we're going to be doing. So as soon as we get our main coat on here, our main paint, our aluminum from AK Extreme Metals, as soon as we get that on there, we'll be able to put on our the decal and the design. We have everything all ready to, not the decal, but the Aztec dummy, and we're ready to go. I have all the paints for it. We're all ready for that. But in the short term, I need to get the internals ready. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly what we're going to be seeing on the inside, but for the sake of screen accuracy, just in case there is anything that we're going to see on the inside from the exposed bits of the internal of the model here, I'm going to go ahead and spray our gloss clear on the inside here, and then finish up the paint job around the edges, because once again, I was planning on joining the model together, and you would only see in from the side and in from the back. But with what we're putting in here, like I said at the end of the video, we'll talk about this. But when I have all of this, I want to be able to lift the top off and look at it. And so I'm not quite sure if what's going to be seen, and if it is going to be seen, I want it to match the hull, because obviously it's going to be the metal color. The hull is going to be the hull. So we're going to go ahead and get our gloss black on the inside, and then I may choose to keep the gloss black on the inside and not go any further. But up here specifically, where it's going to be the top, where we're going to be pulling it off to display the insides, I also want to get a proper weathered look, and so we're also going to be putting the gloss black in here, and then when we put on our base color of the AK Extreme Metals aluminum, that's going to be also painted on the other side for that. So we're going to be putting the gloss black down below and on top, and then we're going to come back at the end of the episode, review the work that was done, see how everything's see how it went. I've really mastered getting gloss black primer down, and I can't wait to show you guys how this turned out, because up here it looks okay. I understand what I did wrong up here, and so I can't wait to show you how it turns out at the end. And then we're going to have a very special announcement for what we're going to be doing for the internals of this model. So I'm going to go ahead and turn down the volume, turn up the music, and we're going to go ahead and hit the paint booth, and then we'll be back to talk about what we're doing next. Enjoy. so we're back. Now, a couple things to note. On this, when I got it underneath the LEDs inside the booth, I had seen where I had made a mistake when I had done the initial paint job, or the base coat, what have you. I touched it and was like fondling it basically, almost like 20-30 minutes after I thought it was dry. It was not. I'm wearing gloves right now because I don't want to touch this too much because the paint or the base coat lacquer is still curing right now. And I don't want to mess up the outside. Again, I wound up, after I finished shooting, I had a bunch of base coat left inside the brush, and then I just jacked up the pressure a little bit and laid it down, and I wound up getting a really, really, really nice gloss on the outside. I redid the finish on the outside. A couple little spotty spots here or there because I was trying to work over the top of what I had done before, but overall I was really pleased. And then we got a really nice gloss on the inside here, so really pleased with the effect that we got. But the adjustment that I'm going to need to make, and I'll kind of show you here on the inside of the tub, I wound up getting this painted down as well. Got a nice gloss on this as well. Kind of streaky here and there. Once again, I was fighting with what I had done before, and so I was really just trying to cover up the spots that had some fingerprints put in it. I didn't paint the floor of the tub just because I know that with what we're going to be doing next, and we're going to talk about that here in a second, we're not going to be seeing the floor at all. There is a little bit of, kind of bad spray on the inside, but I'm not too worried about it. The majority of this, I've been doing my research, and the majority of this is going to be covered up. I am, however, going to be spraying this with our aluminum. And once again, it's because this lacquer is not like really meant to be touched, and I don't want to clear the inside. So we're going to be putting the silver or the aluminum on the inside as well. So the adjustment we're going to make is I'm not going to start working on the interior immediately. This week, after I'm going to give this a couple more days to cure, this week I'm going to come in and I'm going to actually get my, at least on the parts here, because I want to be able to get the Aztec dummy down. I want to be able to get this cleared so that basically I can hold and manipulate the model. I don't want to mess up the paint job or anything like that. And so we're going to be kind of switching gears from moving to the inside, but I am going to be working on some inside components as well separately. And like I said, we're going to talk about that here in a quick second. But we're going to be putting down in the next episode, we're going to go ahead and spray our aluminum down. And I want to make sure to get at least all of the components for the wing part of it, so that when we stop touching this, so that when we are able, when we come to the Aztec dummy and when we come to the internal assembly, basically, like, we're going to be able to have everything, and we're going to be able to touch it, and we'll be able to manipulate it and not worry about getting to, not worry about having to repaint. Because once we paint this, I want to be able to be done with it and move on to the inside, because that's what we're going to be talking about next, my friends. It's one of those things where I have been super excited to share this with you guys. I've been doing my research and trying to figure out what to do for this model. If we were to just present it with a great paint job, it'd be likely a nice model entry into the Amazing Wonderfest contest. I don't want just a nice entry. I'd like to try to place. It'd be pretty cool. And it's motivating. It makes me want to really put in a lot of effort into this model. But this model is fairly basic. I could have done two things. I could have gone the complete mod route, where we get some resin pieces and we get some, some photo etch and what have you. Or I could have bought the Revell kit. And the Revell kit, basically the Revell kit and the AMT kit are the same thing. And the difference is the AMT has better external detailing, where the Revell kit has better internal detailing. Now, I thought about doing a hybrid kit. They're cut from the same mold, pun intended. And so I was like, well, what? I want to do a really nice interior job. And so I started looking around. I came across greenstrawberry.cz, and a lot of you guys know who Green Strawberry is. They make some really high quality products. They focus on photo etch and resin printing and doing some accurate scale replica work. Now, the cool thing is I was like, oh, cool, let's check this out. And I found the fruit pack for the Razor Crest. And I was like, wow, that's super cool. That is currently, let me go ahead and pop over to my screen here. It's currently on sale right now for $300. And I'm like, oh, you know, that's just too much. You know, I could afford it, but then I'm like, I can't afford to get the other equipment that I need to support all the other models and all the other builds that I'm doing. And so I had to really kind of think about it. And I'm like, man, I really, really want this. And so what do I get? Do I get some of it? Do I get, you know, certain components of it? And that's what I kind of settled on. And then I'm like, you know, you never know what someone might say if you ask. And so I went ahead and emailed my friends over at Green Strawberry. And I'm like, hey, what can you do for me? And without getting into details, they're like, hey, we'd like to help you out on this build. And so it's not necessarily a sponsorship, but let's just say I got a really, really good deal on the entire fruit pack for the Razor Crest. It turned out to be, you know, with shipping and everything like that is basically what I had to cover. And, you know, overall, like, I'm really super pleased. They're going to be hooking me up with some goodies, and so I'm really excited about that. And so I'm going to be talking a lot about Green Strawberry and what they've got going on. And so let's go ahead and take a look real fast. And so I got my screen recording up, and now, unfortunately, their website is not the most friendly when it comes to, like, selecting pictures and, like, taking images off. And so we're just going to do a screen record here, and I'll show you kind of what's going on. But this is what it will look like on, you know, obviously the resin parts, the parts that are not painted are the ones we're going to be adding to the model. We're going to be doing the flaps. We're going to be doing the vents. We're going to be doing the guns. I got the full fruit pack, so all 8 mods. And so let's go ahead and take a look and talk about what each one of those mods are real quick and their relation to each other. So first up, we have the cockpit. The cockpit was definitely going to be one of the things I was going to purchase. Now, for $55 and the extreme visibility of this piece, I was like, you know, worth it. And it was this. Basically, we have the photo etch, obviously, so we have all of our levers, we have the floors, and we have the proper pieces that we need to actually, like, make the internal of the cockpit look really good. But then it's the inclusion of all of the different pieces here, all of the different resin pieces that we're going to be able to close in paint. They've really spent a lot of time getting this screen accurate and correct. So as you can see down here in the bottom right, we have the tub basically that leads towards the rear area of the cockpit. And we'll go ahead and bring that up here. So the tub and then all of the different pieces here will be fitting in there. They obviously haven't painted anything, and they left everything photo etched and not unpainted to show, you know, what we're going to be doing. But that's what the internal of the cockpit's going to look like. I am not going to be putting the windows on. I want people to be able to look in and see it very clearly. I don't want to see any reflection whatsoever. So that's going to be the plan for that. No clear parts on this model. It does have this rear section, which is super cool. And it has a ladder. I'll show you guys here in a second. But it does have a ladder that leads down towards the hold area. And that's kind of what led me to, like, go, oh man, I want to do more. So yeah, really, like, cool close detail. And this is very small. Like, they got a nice view in here, but this is very small. And what's really cool is Grogu's seat has the what do you call it, the seat buckles and all that. That's super cool. Yeah, and then you see here we have the ladder that goes down into the hold down there. And if you notice here, it's designed so we can put this chair either in the down or in the up position. I'm going to put it in the up position because that's how it always is in the show. So yeah, and this is what it would look like this is like the rendering from a computer render of what we're going to be getting. And so that's going to be for the cockpit. Next up, we're going to be doing the cannons, and this one is fairly straightforward, although pretty pricey, as you can see here, $42. But I was looking at the cannons that they provide here, and they look so much more real. It has proper flaps that go along the outside. It just a lot higher quality detail for all the pieces. And then this is fairly simple, but this is what it's going to look like on the Razor Crest itself. Just a lot more accurate look of what the cannons can look like. And then here's a computer-generated image of what they have designed. So that's the cannons that we're going to be putting on. That one's going to be super cool. Fairly simple, easy mod to install. Next up, we have the Carbonites, and they don't really have too much of a description other than this. So just some cargo boxes, and it's 2 slabs of Carbonites, and, you know, carbonized, you know, there are a bunch of prisoners in Carbonite. And, you know, we're going to be going, like, as part of, like, the future of this one as well. And I don't know if I'll have the diorama done. I want to do a diorama for this one as well. I kind of want to have it be one of those things where Mando and Grogu are just kind of chilling out outside their ship, while some, you know, some people are offloading a bunch of these dudes in the Carbonite. So I got an idea for that, but I don't know if I'll have that ready in time for Wonderfest. But I'm going to make sure that, like, the final display for this is going to be pretty damn cool. So, yeah, just some cargo stuff. The Carbonites, once again, like, this stuff is all pretty pricey. $38.60. I was just like, man, like, it's a great deal for the $300. But even then, it's just like, man, these are, like, the model itself was only like $70. Next up, and this is one of the ones that I was absolutely going to be purchasing. It is the engines. This is super cool. They're very simple. It's a very simple mod. But what it does is it basically replaces, so let's go ahead and show you here. We get a couple of these colored clear pieces and different fins and nozzles and all of the different things for the engine. And it just kind of gives a much more realistic look. And then, my friends, this is the effect that we get. And there's no way that I would have been able to simulate that effect with the stock parts. The engines are going to look so good. I'm going to have them pulsing, basically, and you know, basically it'll look like the engines are, like, ready to roll at all times. And so here's one more look at that sort of thing from a different angle. And once again, they don't paint these parts to just show you, like, where the regular model is going to be, and then the resin pieces. So I'm super excited about this one. And if you are going to pick that one up, do pick it up soon. It's getting low on stock. The cargo bay we're going to come to very last. This is the one that brought me to Green Strawberry, and it was the flaps. If there was any one mod besides the cockpit that I was going to do, it was going to be the flaps. And it's going to be for this very reason right here. The ship is going to be posed in the landing position. Anytime the ship is landed, you know, the vents are open. You know, or I don't know if it's any time, but, like, a lot of the time when the ship is landed, the vents are open, and it gives a really, really cool effect to the ship, a very hyper-realistic look to the ship. So this is all done with photo etch, and then with these resin parts. And so I'm really excited about putting those into place. And this is the one that really kind of brought me to it. I was like, oh man, there's a really, really cool piece here. The next up one that we're getting is the VTOL thrusters. These ones are fairly simple, but I have an idea, and I'm not going to say it on camera here, but basically, this is what they look like, and I have an idea for how to utilize them. And these are open when the ship is in the landed position. This is kind of the thrusters that help land the ship, and I have an idea for this. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off or not, but in conjunction with the flaps, this is what that looks like. And this is an unpainted model, which is very, very interesting here. They obviously, like, modded this at a certain point. So, but yeah, that's with the VTOL thrusters. That was also one of the ones that kind of really drew me to this model. So there's going to be a lot of modifications that we're going to be doing in order to get this model correct. Then, I think we have, landing gear and exterior, and this is a fairly simple mod, but what this does is it provides specifically more accurate detail inside the landing gear itself. So you can see here, got all these metal pieces, and we're going to be painting these a slightly different color. Like, I'm probably going to pick up, I got to take a look. I'm going to be doing a lot of research when it comes to this ship. And I think I want to go with just a slightly darker metal on this for this piece to really bring attention to the parts. And then underneath here, just once again, it's just little pieces, little parts here and there. You see that they're adding some detail to the outside of the ship. Different parts, where you can really like pick up the metal pieces. And I'm really excited for this one. This is actually, I think, the cheapest mod out of the entire group. And then finally, my friends, the one that I'm most excited about, and the one that also is probably the most daunting. As you can see here, we have the Razor Crest cargo bay. Now, this is a huge, huge, huge mod. It's $129 if you were to buy it individually, and there's not many of these left. Let's go ahead and take a look at the photo etch and the resin pieces. So we have our photo etch here. Kind of hard to do this, but we have cargo netting, we have stuff for the walls, like up here, different things that were located inside the cargo hold. There's a weapons bench, there's a weapons locker. Up here there are guns that we get to fold and create. It's super cool. The thing that I'm most excited about is specifically, not the toilet, which is pretty damn cool, actually. Where is it? Somewhere on here. Or is it with the cargo stuff? Huh. Somewhere along here. I think it's with the cargo stuff. I maybe failed to show it, but I'll make sure to bring it up. But, oh yeah, it is with the cargo stuff. But you're building Mando's bedroom and his toilet and the cargo bay. So you have, like, from here you can see, if you're looking into the back of the cargo bay, you have the cargo netting, you have ladders going up to the upper level, you have a proper floor that can be painted. This leads, if you look, it leads up into like a separate part in the back of the ship. This is the reason why here specifically that I'm going to be putting the ship, leaving the top off, is I want people to be able to look into this model and see all of the hyper realistic detail. And so you got all this cargo netting. You have these pillars that are going to be holding the carbonite materials. You can see here Mando's toilet. The bedroom, where he sleeps. I need to find some blankets that we can fit into there, little pieces of, fabric that we can create little blankets and stuff like that. And then we have, this is another reason why we're going to be leaving the top off. I want people to lift off and see all of these internal pieces. Like, this is a super insane, like, rendering and detail, hyper realistic detail of the inside of the Razor Crest. And this was the thing that, like, made me feel like asking if I could possibly be not sponsored, but like get a really, really good deal. And so I got a really, really good deal. And so I'm super excited about that one. Let's go ahead and go back. And I just want to bring attention to, I think it's on the cargo stuff and carbonites, if I'm not mistaken. Just want to make sure I got that right. Where is it? Well, I looked and looked and looked. For whatever reason, I think it's in the cargo stuff and carbonites. But I think the cargo stuff and carbonites is actually out of stock. No, it's in stock. But for whatever reason, it's not having any of the pictures down below that we can see. So it has Boba Fett's armor all set up in a little stack in the exact way that they had it in the Mandalorian. And I want to be able to bring attention to that as well. So this is going to be pretty cool, you guys. But that being said, this is going to be a heavy build and one that I need to really, really, really get moving on. I've been doing a lot of planning. I have the Aztec dummy for this. We're going to be doing custom lighting. And so with that being said, this series is going to be taking on 2 episodes during the week. as you guys just saw, the Defiant episode, or the Defiant series, just came to a close, and so we're going to be doing 2 episodes a week of the Razor Crest, one on Monday, replacing the Defiant, and then we're going to have this on our regular spot on Saturdays going forward. I need 2 episodes a week so I can focus hard on this model. I really can't be adding a new model to the collection right now if I'm going to be focusing on getting this done. So we have a lot of work to do, my friends, and a lot of exciting work. So in the next episode, we're going to be coming up, I'm going to be unpackaging and showing you guys all of the different little pieces from the Green Strawberry set. Thank you again to Green Strawberry for hooking me up with a great deal. And we're going to be putting down our aluminum, and I'm super excited about that. We're at least going to be taking care of it on the main body portion of it so that we can also get the Aztec dummy down, and we're going to be basically completing the wings from underneath here as well. And then once we have the Aztec dummy down, we're going to clear it, and then we're going to start working on the inside. So that's going to be the plan for next week. So that's what I got for you today, and I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me, watching me build a model, which I think is pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions, comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world wherever you happen to be. And just remember that this is the way.